Welcome back to the Oakland Raiders franchise. We are in week 3 and on the road in Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Raiders look to bounce back after a humiliating loss last week, but it won't be easy. Kirk Cousins leads the way with 395 yards and 3 touchdowns, but we have to be aware of running back Dalvin Cook. He's off to a quiet start, but is a dangerous player. But we have to keep an eye on Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. The dynamic duo is a great 1-2 punch out at wide receiver. Our secondary is in for a long day. And on defense, the Vikings are stacked. Anthony Barr, Danielle Hunter, Joseph, Harrison Smith, Xavier Rhodes. This team is scary good. First quarter action, Dalvin Cook tries to bounce it to the outside, but Garyon Conley comes down and makes the stop for 3 yards. Then Cousins hits Diggs on the quick screen, but Worley is there to wrap him up after a 1-yard gain. Next play, Cousins goes back to the air, tries to move around in the pocket, but Maurice Hurst gets the sack. Vikings forced to punt. Opening drive for the Raiders, Jalen Richard takes the stretch out right, turns up the speed, and gets the first. New set of downs. Carr drops back and hits Ryan Grant across the middle. He turns upfield and picks up 14. 2 plays later, Carr goes back to the air, hitting Grant again on the drag route, and he picks up 5. The drive was stalled, and Carlson comes on to kick the long field goal. It's up and good. Raiders lead 3-0. But the Vikings take over. Cook takes the handoff, cuts it back left, follows behind his blockers, and picks up 15. Then Cousins goes play action, rolls out left, and look at this dart that he throws to Thielen over the middle, and he picks up 16. Then on first down, Cousins goes back to the play action and connects with Thielen again on the cutback, and he gets the first. Later drive, Cousins drops back, no pressure, and hits Diggs in the back of the end zone. Vikings take the 7-3 lead. But here comes Oakland. Richard takes the handoff right, turns on the Jets, and picks up 7. A few plays later, Carr drops back and checks it down to Waller. He turns upfield, but Ron Parker rips the ball out and scoops it up. Vikings take over. And Minnesota looks to capitalize. Cousins goes play action and finds Rudolph wide open downfield, and he gets down to the 3-yard line. Then Cook takes the sweep right and walks into the end zone. Vikings lead 14-3. The Raiders look to answer. Richard is out here eating, using that speed on the outside and picking up 9. Then DeAndre Washington gets in the game. He takes the handoff, stretches it out right, makes a nasty cut, gets upfield, and picks up a nice gain. A few plays later, Carr drops back, hits Waller on the outside, and he picks up 7. It would lead to another Carlson field goal. Next Viking possession, Cousins rolls out to his left, has tons of time. Finally, the pressure gets to him. It's Clelin Ferrell. He gets his first sack. Minnesota would punt. Next Raiders possession, Jalen takes the stretch right, gets the corner, cuts it back inside, and picks up 13. Next play, Carr with the deep drop and finds Waller wide open across the middle, and he drops the ball. Raiders facing the 3rd and 9. Carr going back to the air, and he goes back to his tight end Waller at the marker. He turns and gets laid out by Anthony Barr, and it's a fumble. Barr picks it up and takes it back to the 43-yard line. But the Raiders would get it right back. Cousins drops back, tries to go over the middle, and gets picked off by Tahir Whitehead. What a play by the linebacker. And the Raiders' running game is out here looking great today. Richard is able to get to the outside, turns on the Jets, and gets another solid gain. 3 plays later, Carr with the deep drop, and he hits Waller over the middle, and he holds on to it and gets the first. Later on 3rd and 24, Carr drops back, and here comes the pressure. Anthony Barr lowers the boom for the sack, and that will send us to the half. Ugly start for the Raiders, trailing 14-6. The run game looks really good, but the pass game is a work in progress. Starter 3rd, Jalen takes the delay, finds a huge lane up the middle, and picks up 8. Raiders going for it on 4th down. Carr drops back and throws a dart to Grant at the marker, and he picks up the first. Next play, Washington takes the handoff, finds some room on the left, and picks up 12. New set of downs for the Raiders. Carr goes back to the air, hitting Grant on the drag. He makes a cut and picks up another first. Passing game is starting to heat up for the Raiders. Carr hits Williams on the outside. and he gets down to the 5-yard line. 3 plays later, Carr with the quick drop and hits Williams in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Great drive for the silver and black. But the Vikings look to answer. Cook takes the handoff, cuts it back left, and gets pulled down and would stay down. He would miss the rest of the game. Next play, Cousins rolls out right, but the pressure gets to him again. This time it's Arden Key. 3rd and long for the Vikings. Cousins drops back and throws it up for Rudolph, but he gets hit and drops it right into Joyner's hands, and he's off to the races. The free safety gets it back out to the 20-yard line. Now the Raiders are facing 3rd down. Carr drops back, and look at this throw to Waller, and he gets down for the first. Next play, Carr goes RPO and hits Grant on the screen, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders, and they take the lead. Vikings take over. Madison with the stretch left, and look at all the space. The rookie picks up 26 yards. Then Cousins goes to the air, stands tall, and connects with Diggs over the middle, and he gets down to the 4-yard line. Next play, the rookie Madsen walks into the end zone untouched. Vikings regain the lead. Next Raiders possession, Richard takes the stretch right, cuts it back inside, sheds the tackle, and he's off to the races. The speedy back is finally tackled after a huge gain, but the drive would stall, and Carlson would come on to kick a 50-yard field goal, giving the Raiders the lead right back. But the Vikings are still fighting. Cousins with the play action, stands tall and throws it deep to Thielen, and he comes down with it. What a grab over Conley. A few plays later, Cousins goes play action again. Hits Diggs in the back of the end zone. What a toe tap by the wideout. Vikings take the lead. Raiders look to answer. Washington bounces it to the outside, turns up the jet, and picks up the first. 2 plays later, Carr loads up, and he goes deep, and whoa, what a grab by Carrier. He went one-handed on that one. Next play, Carr hits Richard on the screen. He follows his blockers, gets the first, but gets popped and fumbles out of bounds. Raiders keep possession. Carr drops back and hits Waller on the outside, and he gets down to the 2-yard line. It's 4th down. Carr drops back and hits Williams on the slant. Touchdown Raiders. Oakland takes the lead. Vikings come out in a 2-minute drill. Cousins drops back and hits Higgins on the slant, and he picks up 17 yards. A few plays later, Cousins goes back to the air, tries to hit Cook over the middle, but gets picked off by Whitehead again. The linebacker makes the play of the game, and that would do it. What a comeback for the Raiders. 28-27 is your final. Derek Carr finished with 183 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. The run game was dominant. Career day for Jalen Richard, 154 yards on the ground. Washington chipped in with 55 yards. Shout out to Terrell Williams. He had 2 TD grabs. And on defense, Tahir Whitehead had 2 interceptions. What a game. Great team win for our Raiders. Knock on some wood if you're with me. Next up, we travel to Indy to take on the Colts. Also, it'll be our first look at the draft prospects. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. And don't forget to hit those links down in my description. And follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Big C Gat Game. And we'll talk in the next one. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.